Yo, what's good, child? What's good? What's good? What's good? So, this is trade recap for Friday, the 23rd of January, 2026. So, right now I'm in a good winning streak. I haven't lost all week, and we finished the week with an amazing trade, a banger trade. I upped the risk on this a little bit. I went in for a 0.2, ended up making um how much did I make? I ended up making like 400 and something rands, 400 rands in a single trade. So that was amazing. So let me walk you all through what transpired. All right. So okay. So coming to the day, I was bullish. I was still bullish, even though we had choppy price action. I was still bullish because we were still in a bullish zone, even though we were in this favorable gap and all that. High time frame on the 4 hour. Honestly, I didn't know what to expect. I just marked out my just as usual 4 hour high. Let me do this. Just as usual, I marked out the 4 hour high and the 4 hour low. Same thing on the S&P 500, 4 hour high, 4 hour low. Really, that was the only thing I did on the 4 hour. And then drop down to the hourly time frame. Um, Let me do this. Where's that thing? Where's that thing? Oh yeah. So the hourly time frame. This is the 4 hour high. This is the 4 hour low. Really, there wasn't much to it. I'm sorry that my chart looks so dirty, but there really wasn't much to it. The only thing that was there, I would say, let me remove the drawings. Um, we just had this hourly gap that I marked out, and really, I was looking for price. I was looking for reactions. See, on the hourly time frame, there was really not much to it except for the high and the low, but really there wasn't a lot to 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 anything. Drop down to the 30 minutes. I realized that we had this 30-minute high inside of the 30-minute gap, which I like. Which for me it was like, bro, either anything could happen. If we sweep out highs, we're selling. If we sweep out lows, we're buying. But honestly, reason why I entered this low is because on the lower time frame, if you scale down to the 15 minutes, that's what made me even more bullish. Because pre-market, I think we had an SMT, I think it was 930. Yeah, pre-market we had this on ES we had already swept out sell side, and then honestly I thought that that was a good clear indication for me that price was gonna continue higher once market opens. And what happened? If we drop down to the 5 minutes, oh yeah, this is the 15-minute high as well. We had these highs inside of a hourly gap, right? So a clear draw, but then a clear liquidity area if we're gonna go lower. And if you ask me why didn't I think, okay, sharp, we're gonna sweep out this low and Nasdaq, is because again, bro, the S&P 500 already swept out those lows, right? So dropping down to the 5 minutes, really this was a quick one. Um, Drop down to the 5 minutes. The first couple of minutes we were pretty choppy. We swept out this high. We didn't sweep out this high. After sweeping out this high, really I just went down to the lower time frame because I was expecting price to go higher. On the S&P 500, I think something happened first. Yeah. On the S&P 500, I think honestly, bro, I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't remember much of anything, but 955, 955, 955. Nine, no, it wasn't on the S&P 500. Okay, yeah, no. So after those lows were swept, high key, I just dropped down to the 3 minutes because I was so bullish. Really, this is the worst trade recap ever. So understand if you don't watch this. But I was so bullish that we had these not relatively close, these LR, the LSR, low low resi- low resistance liquidity that we made. I didn't really care about that because again, I was super bullish. I expected price to go higher and higher, and then S&P 500 swept it out. If anything would have happened, it's just a resweep of these lows, and then displacing higher. But then yeah, I was bullish, and then I kept to my bullish bias. I dropped down to the 1 minute. Um, Really, I'm just showing this why I entered, bro. Because really, there wasn't much to this. Yeah, in the 1 minute, we had this 1 minute gap, and then oh yeah, we had this 1 minute gap as well. Oh yeah, when we swept out those highs, I I did this 1 minute gap, thinking that okay, if we if we're gonna sell, because like there was this one on market open, there was this like 1 minute inversion that I really wouldn't have taken. I didn't take this because again I was bullish. So what I was looking for after this, when my gap was created, I just marked it out for like maybe if we inverse it. We did inverse it here, but I didn't want to enter here because it wasn't what I wanted to see. Honestly, it wasn't clear enough for me. Plus, we had also created this gap, so I wanted to see price tap into this gap and then inverse the highest time frame fair value gap, which was still on the 1 minute. Actually, it was on the 2 minutes, but it was the same thing. Closed. It was a stack of these, I think. But then yeah, inversed this 1 minute. After inversion, I took the trade, put my stops on the 5 minute low. This is the 5 minute low, and then so here's the thing. Here's the only thing that I would actually comment about this because it was a pretty like price action wasn't the best, but it was pretty normal. It wasn't hard or difficult or anything, but it was pretty normal. So here's the thing, right? My target, I wanted to target. This was my original target actually. It was on the hourly. So my targets were. I had marked out this. We had swapped it already, obviously, and then on the hourly time frame. I'm such a boomer today. It's Saturday, guys, so I'm so sorry for this. So I had marked out this high, this gap, right, as one of my targets. Also at the same time, this high, but we didn't really take it, so um, I probably wouldn't like it. Probably would have just like reversed down to my whatever to one of my stop losses. But then yeah, I was looking at this gap as my TP actually, and the top of the gap, and this one as well. It took it out on S&P 500, I think. No, it didn't. It didn't. But yeah, I was looking at that as my targets. Original TP was supposed to be right there, but then because we were already in the gap and this was the high, I didn't want to risk it that much. So it would have been a beautiful like 1 is to whatever, but then still, we caught a beautiful trade 1 is to 1,5. Um, yeah, I really don't have much to say on this. Like target, we had an SMT swept out liquidity pre-market on the S&P 500. We had highest time frame inversion, even though it wasn't that clean of a setup, but it was discretionary. I took it after it happened. We had a fair value gap rejection, and then a high time frame inversion on the 2 minutes, and then yeah, man, we just took this out. We chopped, and we're good. So I'm sorry for the bad trade recap, but then yeah. Oh, and yeah, P&L. So on the week, let me see if I can just pull it up right here. Hold on.